So regarding the recent discussions about Attack on Titan, whether it deserves being in the top series of all time, even some people in the Attack on Titan community debating whether it's either season 3 part 2 or season 4 that deserves to be on the top. It's just kind of a shit show, to be honest. And it's kind of confusing because Attack on Titan has already cemented itself as one of the big series that is not only one of the most popular but one of the most critically acclaimed. And as I go through the MyAnimeList forums, especially forums of the anime that are in the top 10, it really made me think, like, this top anime series list has been made by the users. Yet you can see so many people complaining about it online. Of course, I do realize this is a vocal minority, but it's still a very vocal part of the community that I would like to address. Obviously, this doesn't represent an objective quality comparison, it's simply what people like the most. And in my eyes, every series in the top has at least something that distinguishes it from the vast array of series and movies that there are. For example, we can say that Fullmetal is one of the most solidly produced shows ever, because it's 64 episodes of very high quality animation consistency, character moments. It's just very well constructed. It's not something that anyone really debates. Steins is one of the most interesting time travel stories ever told, so whether people find it boring in the beginning or throughout its entire runtime, it is one of the most creative stories regarding time travel. Gintama is constantly being picked on. People say it doesn't deserve, it's overrated, but Gintama is basically the Simpsons or the Family Guy of the anime industry. It constantly is picking apart mainly shonen tropes and making constant references. Not only that, but it presents a solid storyline. It goes from a serious story to a parody from episode to episode, from arc to arc. Again, a very unique series. You don't see any series like Gintama. Hunter x Hunter, much like Fullmetal, it's one of the most tightly adapted shonen stories, and it's one of the most consistent long-running series, if not the most consistent long-running series in terms of its production. Sangatsu is one of the most well-written dramas ever, with amazing art and animation and direction. Koi no Katachi, Your Name, two movies that present extremely high production value as well, with two stories that touched a lot of people. So it's not, even if you don't like them, it's not hard to understand why they are at the top. Then you have stuff like Shigatsu wa Kimi no Uso and Clannad After Story, which is interesting because I constantly see people that either love Clannad and really didn't like Shigatsu, or vice versa. I myself identify with that. I felt like Shigatsu was a lot more forced drama than Clannad. I don't think Clannad was forced drama at all, actually. But when I see someone that really loved Shigatsu, many of them think that Clannad was very forced. So whether you like one or the other or both, you can understand those are two of the series that evoke the most emotion out of all of anime that exists. Like, of course you're not gonna agree with this list completely. You wouldn't be a human. You would just be a bot made to have a taste that corresponds with public opinion in general. I myself have a few anime on the top list that I give a 5 out of 10, a 6 out of 10. But that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that the top anime series is not well built. So what am I getting at? I made a post back in February asking what is your ideal MAL top 10? And I phrase it this way because it's not exactly about what are your favorite anime, but which anime would you think that would make sense to be at the top? That is, of course, a combination of the shows with the most quality overall with the shows that you think appeal to the most people at the same time, and a bit of your personal bias, of course. Because you see a lot of people on this very website saying that the top anime list is not something you should look at all. Some people disregard it completely. So I made this thread so I would see people's opinions on what the top 10 should look like. Of course, some people put Attack on Titan Season 4, some people put Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 specifically. Fullmetal, Hunter x Hunter, Steins Gate came up a lot. There's a lot of Evangelion here, which is interesting because Evangelion does have quite a low score by MAL standards. It's currently sitting at 8.32, so it's ranked 209. Because I hear a lot of people saying that they love Evangelion or they liked Evangelion, but it had a weird ending, so, which also happens to Berserk. Many people also think that Berserk is deserving of the top 10, even though it's ranked 110 on the website, because it's an incomplete adaptation, but whoever watched it agrees that it holds up as one of the best. You see a lot of monster, Ghibli movies, of course. I was very happy to see that Monogatari was well represented as well. Very happy to see some Satoshi Kon love here. Satoshi Kon movies also have a low-ish score on MAL. Perfect Blue is rising surprisingly, much like Berserk at 8.48 at the moment. And that's the highest rated Satoshi Kon anime. Millennium Actress is way below, and Paranoid Agent as well, but there's some representation here. Vinland Saga is also a more recent favorite. Of course, Code Geass is also loved to this day. Haikyuu as well. It is one of the most beloved sports series ever after all. Some people also tended to include at least one Yashike series, so whether it is Mushishi or Arya. It's also great for me to see some love for the Arya series. I believe many people also think that Yuasa's works are deserving of the top 10. These shows that are made by a specific director don't tend to be so high on lists because they don't have such mass appeal. They have a very specific style and vision, much like Evangelion. The only two directors that really broke into the mainstream are obviously Hayao Miyazaki and more recently Makoto Shinkai. Madoka Magica is also one of the most beloved ones, despite its score being completely plummeted down. It's still one of the most well-regarded anime. So this whole thread, of course, very few people responded to it, but in the few replies that I had, I got a big array of answers, and most of them did include many anime from the already existing top 10, with many still pointing out series that are not so highly rated on the website. And the funny part is, even if you go to AniList or Anime Planet, the top series is not that different at all. You see on the top page the same anime, just with their order slightly changed. Even Reddit made a top anime list, and I believe with the objective to make a more quote-unquote accurate or objective top anime list. And again, it's very funny to me because the results are pretty much the same. You even have here the comparison to the MyAnimeList score. And of course, Legend of the Galactic Heroes is on top. I'm sure the fans of that series are very pleased with this result, and Gintama fans are also happy because they don't get spams with 1 out of 10s here. But the results are basically the same. You have Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Gintama, Attack on Titan, Sangatsu, Fullmetal, Steins, Hunter x Hunter. Very happy to see Arya the Origination so high here. It's almost 0.5 above than what it is on MyAnimeList. But overall, it's just rinse and repeat. The same series are here. Some are higher, some are lower. I just wished people looked at the top anime series and saw it as a good representation of the variety and quality that the medium has to offer. I know that if I show the top anime series on any of these websites to someone who's even remotely interested in anime, they will find something for them. From shonen to seinen, to dramas, war stories, sports series, great movies overall, and of course, JoJo. So yeah, keep watching your Japanese cartoons, keep rating them however you please, and remember, no need to overthink these numbers so much.
ご視聴ありがとうございました。はい、みんな登録してくれてありがとう。そして
登録しなかったそこのお前、今からお前んち行くから。